Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Prize Pick Show Prop 5 here at 5 Reasons Sports Network. Today, we're going to do a Thursday night football special edition of our Prop 5, and it's going to be the Green Bay Packers, which are my favorite team, so I'm very invested in this game, versus the Detroit Lions. So we have a huge game tonight. And I think there's a lot of good props out there. I think this is going to be a very offensive-heavy game. I really like this on the PrizePicks side. I have Caesar with me from Big Picks Energy. Be sure to follow them. You can see his Twitter handle right there at Big Picks Energy. They do phenomenal work and are very entertaining in their videos they put out for their picks as well. So I can't recommend them enough here. So Caesar, I'll let you go first. What is your favorite prop that you've figured out today?
Well, I'm with you on the offensive. We're expecting a lot of offense today. This is not your typical Thursday night football. Usually Thursday night football sucks. This is a great game, very important game, I might add, right? Like the Vikings are on the tail of the Lions, so the Lions really need this game. So all my props, I have 3 props for you today. I'm going to start with the first one. I like all offensive props. The first one I like is Jordan Love over on interceptions, okay? This season, he's been an interception machine. I mean, you say you're a Packers fan. You tell me. He started like the first 8 games with a pick in every game.
Yep.
He had one against the Lions this year already, right? Or was it 2? So I like this. This is in Detroit. So if the Detroit offense is clicking, I expect a lot of passing from the Packers to try to go tit for tat with them. He hasn't had a pick in the last 2 games, but I like this prop. And apparently so does PrizePicks because they have a goblin on it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good prop with how it's been going. He has 2 straight games of no picks, and maybe it's like last year where the first start of the year he threw a lot of picks and then it went down. But in a very pass-heavy game, I like this prop. What's your next prop, Caesar?
Okay, keeping with the offense, I like Jared Goff to throw more than 1 touchdown. So Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns. Now, Big Picks Energy, we're all about value, right? There's great value on this play. A lot of the sportsbook have this line at a lower paying odds, right? So, like for example, MGM has this as minus 145. Depending on how you play this on PrizePicks, you could get it minus 119. You can get it minus 137 if you just do a pair. I think this is a great value line right here.
Once again, we both think it's going to be offense, so going passing touchdowns is a good idea as well. And so we're doing 3 props today. So what's your third prop?
My third prop, staying with the offense, Josh Jacobs over on rushing yards. Now, can you do me a favor? Can you verify what the line is right now, Josh Jacobs?
73.5.
Perfect. So 73.5. If you go line hunting, this is the best you can get this line. Everybody else has it higher. Abe by a little bit, but they still have it higher. FanDuel has it at 74.5. DraftKings 74.5. Some other websites, Caesars Sportsbook has it at 75.5. So the best number you can get for the rush yards of Josh Jacobs is on PrizePicks. I will take the over 73.5. And by the way, if you look at his last 5 games, he's hit the over in 4 of the last 5. The only one they didn't hit was against Miami. But he's hit the over quite nicely.
Yeah, and Josh Jacobs, I know a lot of people are upset, mainly in the fantasy realm because fantasy rules NFL coverage nowadays. But he is, I believe, 3rd in the NFL in rushing. So he is racking up a lot of yards. I feel like this number is lower because they expect it to be more of a passing game to keep up with Detroit. But I do think the Packers are pretty stubborn in keeping their run game. So not be surprised if he demolishes this number, maybe even gets 100 yards.
Not only that, do you think that they may even play keep away from the Lions and be like, let's try to control the clock, let's try to run so that the Lions have the ball less?
Especially if they get the ball first or if they get a stop first, they can then try to control the game like that, because the Packers play like that pretty consistently no matter who they're playing a lot of times. And then they take a lot of shots deep after they basically like lull people to sleep a little bit. But I would not be surprised at all if Josh Jacobs, we're looking at the end of this game and he has 100+ yards with a ton of carries, because they tried to limit what Detroit's offense can do. So there's a lot of avenues I think this really works out for. For my picks, though, I do have 2 receiving yards picks. One of them is going to be Tucker Kraft, the Green Bay tight end. Let's see if I can find the standard prop here. He 38.5 right here, over 38.5. You can see it's been up and down, but Romeo Doubs is actually out this game, which is pretty big. The Packers don't have, quote unquote, a true number one. Jaden Reed's the closest to that this year, but they do it by committee a lot. And Tucker Kraft has been right there in several games, is even sometimes the number one option. I really like this, considering I think there's a good chance they'll have to try to keep up with scoring, or even on third downs, if they're running it a lot, the longer third downs, Tucker Kraft is always there. He has the ability to break off big runs after the catch too. So 38.5, I really like this number, and that's the one that stood out to me the most. Next is a guy that's getting more respect recently out of just NFL circles, and it's one of the most popular plays, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's always around this number of 71.5 yards, and I always like consistency. And I know I just took a Tucker Kraft that's not very consistent. It's very up and down, but consistency means to me that they find ways to get this no matter the game script, right? And a lot of times for the Lions, the game script is a lot of points. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is just a special kind of talent that he can break off big plays. He can be a possession receiver. He can do anything out of the receiver position that they need. And I think there's going to be opportunities. Jair Alexander's still out. He's still not playing, so we're still missing our number one corner. And yes, our defense has been pretty decent. And last time we played, he only had 56 receiving yards. But I think it's, unrealistic to think we're going to keep him around 56 again. I could see him having, in sheer volume, having 80, 90 yards, even if he doesn't end up breaking off a big one. But I would not be surprised if he has a 30, 40-yard catch in this game as well.
That's why I also like the line. The Amon-Ra St. Brown line is a little bumped on PrizePicks compared to other books, but I really like what you just said. I really like the longest reception prop. I don't know what the number is on PrizePicks, but if it's around the 20th, I think I really like that prop.
Yeah, 20. You can see he's hit it basically every other game, even last time against Green Bay. So that is value there. If you want the one play sweat for the whole game. Sometimes those are just fun to play, right?
Yeah.
My last prop is actually going to be another Jordan Love prop, and it kind of goes with the game script I've been saying this whole time, is his just standard passing yards. And did they take it away?
Uh-oh.
I literally
see the demon there.
Right before here, it was at 252. Sometimes they go away and come back. Let me see if I
see the demon and the goblin there.
Yeah, I only see demon and goblin. Let's see if we refresh and come back here. No, so they took it away, and we are doing this a little bit early, so it could come back from then. So, like I said, I had it 252.5 passing yards, but for the sake of this on the fly, we will use, 274. We'll do the not as high demon, but, and I know, Caesar, we were talking right before this. It kind of goes against both of our philosophies, really, to pick demons, right? But
yeah,
this is a good segue into a new thing, PrizePicks. Oh, speaking of, it literally came back right now.
252.
So here's the 252.5. I think there's going to be a lot of passing attempts, even if they do the Josh Jacobs route that we were talking about. Jordan Love still could break off big passing plays because, like I said, they throw the deep ball a lot of times. He is a gunslinger. he's either Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, right? He's either physical and taking those short passes and just methodically going down the field, or this man triple coverage, it don't matter, I'm throwing it up. Like Jaden Reed's down there somewhere. That meme, that can be Jordan Love at times too.
Yeah.
And I, if it does go the other game script of where the Detroit gets the ball first, they score early, maybe they go up 2 scores, they have to pass, right? They have to get those big chunk plays. I think Jordan Love would be able to do that. And so 252.5, you can see he's either under 200 or above 250. So there's not really much low 200s in his games recently, and he's been playing much better football, as we talked about with the INTs. So I think all of this kind of goes together where there's only two different ways I can really see this game going. And it's either Green Bay controlling it with the run and Jordan Love has to make key big plays, or they're trying to play catch up or keep into the game with a bunch of passing. But I think this is going to be a very offensive game for running backs as well as passing, because sometimes you can catch the defense off guard with a couple runs because they're so used to the pass.
Well, for what it's worth, the game is indoors.
Yep.
And last 2 games versus Detroit, he hit the over easily on that number. He had 268 and 263 the last 2 games of Detroit. One of them was last year, obviously. So I think 252 is I think it's a good number for you to bet the over.
Yeah. And real quick, what we have to mention anytime we do a Prop 5, our new member offer, and you can see it's bottom of the screen. Use the code 5 and get $50 instantly when you place your first $5 prop. And if you're not in an arena state, they literally just released this today. You can now get demon lineups in power plays all the way up to 6. So I'll add in 6 props here to show y'all what I'm talking about. You can now play power plays up to 6 different things. So before you could only do flex, now you can do power plays, so you have to hit all of them. If all of those are demons, and depending on what demons they are, that can actually now, it used to be 100x. Now your biggest payout is now 1,000x. Like I said, unfortunately, you can't use that in Florida right now because it's an arena. But for example, I'm in Georgia. I can use it. I found a guy on Twitter that put one together, and I thought, sure, why the heck not? Let's put $5 on this and see what happens. So I think that adds a whole new element. If you like being risky, who doesn't want to turn $5 into $5,000 in one day, right? Obviously not endorsing that it's going to happen every time or you're ever even going to hit one, right? But it is a new thing. I know a lot of people like these high parlays that with big payouts. Obviously there's more risk for that, but that is a brand new thing that you can be looking out for. Stack together 6 different demons, and depending on how risky it is, you can get up to 1,000x, or even the flex on that was like 350x, which is crazy. So, and if only 4 of the 6 hit, it's still like a 5x. So not bad as well. But that's a brand new thing. So when you play that $5 to get that $50 instantly, if you just want to go, what the heck, let's see if we make a bunch of money today, you can do that if you're not, like I said, in an arena state. Caesar, is there anything else that you can think of for our viewers to be looking out for this game? Maybe picking other props or anything like that?
I think the props we got as far as player props are really good. I had a futures. I'm sorry to say this in front of you, but I had a futures Lions to win the division, so I'm rooting for the Lions tonight. I'm sorry, brother. I need them to secure it. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the props we got.
Yeah. I mean, I can't hate on you. The Lions, they are a heck of a football team. They are 11-1, and the Packers are 9-3, and 9-3 is third in the division, that's
crazy.
Which is insane. This is a massive game right now.
It's huge.
If the Packers win, they're right back in with the division, and the Vikings bump up. If the Lions win, they get even further separation from the Packers and a good key interdivision win. But we will see y'all on our future Prop 5s. Don't forget, follow Big Picks Energy. It's just at Big Picks Energy on Twitter. And we will see y'all next time for our Prop 5. Y'all have a good night.